Hey there, Internet Explorers! Imagine this. The internet is like one massive city. Websites? They're the shops, parks, and libraries of this city. Every business, every artist, every cat with a funny video needs a website. It's their online home, their voice in the digital world. Think about your favorite online shop. You see their products, right? You can click buttons, add things to your cart, and buy stuff. All of that, my friends, is thanks to the magic of website development. But what really goes on behind those flashy images and easy-to-use menus? How does a website go from an idea to something you can actually visit on your phone or computer? Well, buckle up, because we're about to break it down, nice and simple. Building a website is like making a delicious sandwich. Just like a sandwich has different layers and components that come together to create a tasty meal, a website has various parts that work in harmony to provide a seamless user experience. You've got the front end, which is like what you see and interact with, the bread, the fillings, the yummy toppings. This is the part of the website that users directly engage with, from the moment they land on the homepage to the time they navigate through different sections. This is all about how the website looks and feels. The front end is responsible for the visual elements, the layout, and the overall aesthetic appeal. It's what makes a website attractive and engaging, drawing users in and encouraging them to explore further. It includes everything from the fonts and colors to the images and buttons. Front-end developers work tirelessly to ensure that every element is perfectly placed and that the user experience is as smooth as possible. Then there's the back end, the behind-the-scenes magic that makes everything work. While the front end is all about what you see, the back end is about what you don't see. It's the engine that powers the website, handling all the data processing and server-side operations. Think of this like the recipe, the cooking process, the stuff you don't see, but is super important. Just as a chef follows a recipe to create a dish, back-end developers follow specific protocols and algorithms to ensure that the website functions correctly. This is where the website stores information, processes your requests, and does all the heavy lifting. The back-end is responsible for managing databases, handling user authentication, and ensuring that all the data flows smoothly between the server and the client. Front-end developers are like the artists and designers. They bring the website to life with their creativity and technical skills, using various tools and technologies to craft a visually appealing and user-friendly interface. They use special codes like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, more on those later, to create the look and layout of the website, making sure it's easy and fun for you to use. These languages allow them to design responsive and interactive web pages that adapt to different devices and screen sizes. Back-end developers are like the engineers. They work behind the scenes to build and maintain the server, application, and database that make up the back-end of a website. Their work ensures that the website can handle multiple users, process transactions, and store data securely. They work with databases, servers, and all sorts of complicated stuff to make sure the website runs smoothly and securely. This involves writing server-side code, managing server resources, and implementing security measures to protect user data. They're the ones who make sure your information is safe and your orders go through properly. Without back-end developers, the website wouldn't be able to function efficiently, and users wouldn't be able to enjoy a seamless online experience. Let's talk code. Whether you're a seasoned developer or just starting out, understanding the core building blocks of web development is essential. Don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. In fact, once you get the hang of it, coding can be incredibly rewarding and even fun. Think of it like learning a new language, the language of websites. Just like any language, it takes practice and patience, but the results are worth it. First up, we've got HTML, the basic structure of a web page. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it's the foundation upon which everything else is built. It's like the skeleton of your website, telling the browser what's what. Without HTML, there would be no structure to your content. Headings, paragraphs, images, HTML puts them all in order. It organizes your content so that it makes sense to both the browser and the user. Next, we have CSS, the stylist of the web. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and it's what makes your website look good. It adds all the pretty colors, fancy fonts, and cool layouts. With CSS, you can transform a plain HTML document into a visually stunning web page. CSS takes that bare-bones HTML structure and turns it into something visually appealing. It's like the clothes and makeup for your website, giving it style and flair. And finally, there's JavaScript, the action hero. JavaScript is what makes your website interactive and dynamic. It brings your website to life with interactive elements, animations, and all sorts of cool effects. JavaScript can respond to user actions, making your site more engaging. Think of those image carousels, drop-down menus, and even simple games. That's JavaScript in action. It's the magic that makes your website not just a static page, but a dynamic experience. Now let's talk about databases. Imagine a giant, organized library for your website's information. This is where everything is stored: user accounts, product details, blog posts, you name it. Databases are like the brains behind the website, remembering everything so you don't have to. They keep things organized, secure, and easy to access. When you log in, make a purchase, or even leave a comment, the website talks to the database to make it all happen. Section 5. A place to call home: hosting, domains, and DNS. Every website needs a place to live, right? That's where hosting comes in. Hosting is essentially the service that allows your website to be accessible on the internet. Without hosting, your website would just be a collection of files on your computer, invisible to the world. Think of it like renting space on a powerful computer called a server. This server stores all your website's data, from images to text, and makes it available to users around the globe. This server is connected to the internet 24/7, making sure your website is always up and running for everyone to see. Reliability and uptime are crucial, as any downtime can mean lost visitors and potential revenue. But how do people find your website in the first place? That's where domains come in. A domain name is a human-readable address that directs people to your website. A domain name is like your website's address on the internet, www.yourwebsite.com. It's a unique identifier that helps users find your site easily without having to remember a string of numbers. It's what people type into their browser to visit your site. Choosing a good domain name is important because it can affect your site's visibility and branding. And finally, we have DNS, the internet's phone book. DNS stands for Domain Name System, and it plays a critical role in how the internet functions. It connects that easy-to-remember domain name to the actual IP address of your server, like a behind-the-scenes translator. Pretty neat, huh? Without DNS, we would have to remember complex IP addresses to visit websites, which would be a real hassle. So, in essence, hosting, domains, and DNS work together to make the internet user-friendly and accessible. Section 6. WordPress and beyond. CMS versus custom websites. Now, building a website from scratch can be a lot of work. That's where content management systems, or CMS, come in. These are like pre-built websites in a box with easy-to-use tools to manage your content. WordPress is one of the most popular CMS platforms out there. It's like Lego for websites. You can choose from tons of themes, plugins, and customization options to build just about any kind of website you can imagine. Of course, you can always go the custom route and build a website from the ground up. This gives you more control over every aspect of the design and functionality, but it also requires more technical expertise and time. Section 7. Mobile First World Responsive Design for Everyone. These days, more people access the internet on their phones than on computers. That's why it's super important to have a website that looks good and works flawlessly on all devices: desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. This is where responsive design comes in. It's like magic. The website automatically adjusts its layout and content to fit different screen sizes, ensuring a seamless experience for everyone. No more zooming and scrolling sideways on tiny screens. Section 8. Balancing act form, function, and user experience. Building a great website is all about finding the right balance between form, function, and user experience. It's like a three-legged stool. All three legs are equally important for a stable and enjoyable experience. Form is all about aesthetics, how visually appealing and well-designed the website is. Function is about making sure everything works as it should: buttons, links, forms, and all the interactive elements. And user experience is all about making the website easy to navigate, informative, and enjoyable to use. Section 9. The ever-evolving web. A final thought. So there you have it, a crash course on how websites are made. From the front end to the back end, from HTML to hosting, it's a fascinating world of technology and creativity. But here's the thing, the web is constantly evolving. New technologies emerge, design trends change, and user expectations grow. That's why it's so important to stay curious, keep learning, and adapt to the ever-changing digital landscape. Who knows what the future holds for the World Wide Web? But one thing's for sure, it's going to be an exciting ride.